Hey everyone, RevRush here. In the last segment, I built a team called the Dance of Shards in our new team building segment. And here, we are going to go ahead and test the team in battle. Did a few different battles and showdowns, showing some good, highlighting some bad. So let's go through it now. I am in the top right corner as RevRush, that's my opponent in the bottom. So they lead out with Blaziken and a Ludicolo. I lead out Sableye and Suicune. I assume a fake out, and I know Blaziken's going to protect because it usually does. So I go ahead and go for a Calm Mind on my Suicune, while I think I Shadow Ball the Ludicolo, getting a little bit of damage. And that Calm Mind gets me to the point where I won't die from another Giga Drain from the Ludicolo. However, I taunt here. It's not the best play because Blaziken's not really going to try to protect anymore, but I am able to take down the Blaziken in one hit with that Scald. The Ludicolo is still at full health though. And another Giga Drain might not be the best thing for Suicune. So I switch it out to bring in Ferrothorn, who is a much better choice against the possible fake outs that are coming his way. He tries to fake out my Sableye, I guess maybe he forgets it's a Ghost Star type. Will-O-Wisp sadly does miss, but Giga Drain luckily does not do that much to Ferrothorn. He switches the Kangaskhan out to bring back in his Aegislash, which I actually decided to Leech Seed, which is a perfect move for that. He Scalds the Sableye, and luckily for him, gets a burn. But Leech Seed goes up on the Aegislash and starts slowly sapping away its health, which is a really good thing about Ferrothorn, because I can sap away at their health. He keeps trying to Scald the Sableye, because I guess he forgets to recover, is hoping it won't work, and I start Gyro Balling the Ludicolo, trying to get this Ludicolo off the field. He actually sets up a sub, which is great for me because I'm already behind. I already have the Leech Seed, so he can be behind the sub, and I'm still going to get HP from him every turn. And he starts targeting the Sableye, but I'm going to keep on targeting the Ludicolo, trying to get it off the field. Sableye is very bulky, and this is the reason why I run Recover, is for things like this. I can just keep on recovering it and make sure it stays on the field as long as physically possible. I then get Shadow Balled on the Ferrothorn, while I go for a Gyro Ball on the Kangaskhan, which actually does 50 health, with 50% damage of his health, which is pretty nice. Sableye is still on the field. I'm going to protect Ferrothorn, while I go for a Will-O-Wisp onto that Kangaskhan, because Kangaskhan is a really tough attacker, and I don't want to get taken down by it. And now, both Pokemon are successfully losing health on each turn, which is much better for me. So, now that he Sucker Punches the Ferrothorn, my Iron Barbs and my Rocky Helmet activate, and that takes the Kangaskhan right off the field, which is very nice for me. I'm just going to keep on recovering the Sableye so it doesn't perish or anything to any of the Flash Cannons, and I Gyro Ball the Aegislash, getting rid of its sub finally. And now it's down to his Aegislash and his Ludicolo, while I'm going to go, I believe, for... He's going to King Shield, and I'm going to Gyro Ball that Ludicolo to finally get it off the field. I recover Sableye again, just so it doesn't disappear from the field, because, Scald does about 30-ish damage. Gyro Ball is more than enough to take down the Ludicolo, and our opponent does forfeit after this round, netting us our first win with the Dance of Shards. Next up is a different battle. It's a little interesting, because I didn't know Regigigas was allowed in VGC 2015. But I guess we learn things every day. So, I'm going to send out, I'm on the bottom left this time, Charizard and Mamoswine, a very nice lead against a Liepard and a Lilligant. My Mamoswine is Choice Banded with Ice Charge, one-hit KOs that Lilligant, while Liepard tries to knock me off. I don't Mega Charizard just for any potential attacks, so now I can have a boosted Mega Charizard X already on the field, while Liepard goes for a Paralyzation. I tried to Ice Shard that Liepard, trying to get it off the field, and a Dragon Claw actually nets me success there, killing that Liepard, while Regigigas goes for a return, knocking out my Mamoswine. Here I see it'd be a good idea to probably burn that Regigigas, so once the slow start goes away, it's not going to do even more damage. So I get a Will-O-Wisp off successfully on that Regigigas, and it's doing the thing where it changes its ability, so it makes it stronger. Earthquake doesn't do as much, luckily, after the burn. And I go for a second, I successfully get off a second Dragon Dance. which is gonna make Charizard a pure beast in battle. I taunt the Pyroar so it stops doing the entrainment move, and as expected, what he does, Mega Charizard X just hold on, and I take down that Regigigas with a Flare Blitz, but take myself down. But I believe it was worth it to take down the Regigigas from the field. And after this, we get the forfeit, and that was the first, test of trying out the Dragon Dance on the field. Next up is another battle against a Perish Song team, and it actually went surprisingly well. I'm usually terrified of the Perish Song teams. So he sends out the Greninja and Gengar. I send out Mamoswine and a Sableye. I know Greninja's gonna map lock, so I taunt that Gengar in case of Perish Song, while I try to go for an attack on Mamoswine. I try to just attack with whatever I can. Earthquake does take my Sableye down, and it's a common trend. It's not the best idea to Earthquake your Pokemon. So I'm going to bring out Suicune so that even if I Earthquake myself, it won't hurt as much. And I get a Scald on the Mamoswine, but luckily, no burns. So Earthquake does a nice amount of damage to Suicune, but it actually gets a crit on the Greninja and knocks out the Gengar in one hit. So, no Perish, and I took out the Greninja and the Gengar. Next up come the Politoed and the Scrafty, who's going to intimidate my Mamoswine. But I already have a Suicune, and I figure I'm gonna switch it out, bring out the Ferrothorn, who's gonna take a fake out much more ease and do a lot of damage to that Scrafty. I set up the Tailwind to get some speed going, and he lowers my speed. But for Suicune, I'm gonna start boosting up my Calm Minds so that I don't die from any special attacks from the Politoed, while they go start targeting the Ferrothorn for damage. Unfortunately, he does get a burn on me and knocks off my Rocky Helmet, and Power Up's going to do a lot less now that Ferrothorn is unfortunately growing, because we're running a more bulky Ferrothorn than our physical attack one. A one boosted Suicune with Scald is enough to take down the Scrafty, while Leech Seed unfortunately doesn't miss, but we're in a pretty good position here, as it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just keep on Calm Minding to keep Suicune on the field as long as possible, while Ferrothorn is going to go down to the Scald. I believe our opponent both forfeits, showing just the first battle with a Calm Mind Suicune and how much damage it can actually do. Now, this one's an interesting one. I'm on the top right again, against Landorus and a Thunderous. I bring up my Mamoswine and Sableye, realizing the physical threats here. And this is what I EV'd for. I want to show that I shard a Mamoswine. However, it does switch, so no luck there, but I am able to get the Ice Shard off of the Kangas, but the Thunderous is spamming Swaggers, which means it's going to make it very difficult to do any attacks. I go ahead and switch out my Charizard, just because I don't want Mamoswine to have to go down this turn. I'd like to keep it for later when the Thunderous comes back out. My confusion ends after a turn, and I get the burn on the Kangaskhan, which is what I wanted to do. Well, that Thunderbolt really does do a lot of damage. Mega Charizard X is I'm gonna Mega and try to Dragon Dance, while poor Sableye gets Swaggered again and hurts itself. Now that Kangaskhan is burnt, its return does a lot less, and luckily my Charizard X is still on the field. I'm gonna bring out Mamoswine again, trying to take down this Thunderous because it's been a threat for too long. And even with Intimidate, I'm still gonna be able to do a lot of damage with Ice Shard. So he Swaggers my Charizard, but I'm still gonna Ice Shard, bringing it down to about 23 health, and a Citrus pops. But my Charizard X actually attacks through the confusion and gets a Dragon Claw onto that Thunderous, thanks to the Dragon Claw onto the Lando, thanks to the Thunderous' Swagger. My Charizard's confusion ends, and I'm able to get a Dragon Claw and just take out that Sableye in one hit. A +2 attack Charizard is more than enough to take down pretty much any threat that the field could possibly have. Now here's an interesting battle against a Cresselia, and a good reason why you shouldn't Earthquake yourself. So we're going to put this in fast because it takes a little while because the Cresselia starts Calm Minding. So the Sableye Charizard, Ampharos goes Mega and protects, while I taunt the Cresselia trying to stop it from doing anything, but it still has meant to earn. I Dragon Dance my Charizard, but the Trick Room is set up. So I'm going to try to taunt the Cresselia again just so it doesn't get any damage on me. Cresselia goes out in change for an Amoonguss while I Mega my Charizard, bringing it down to 9 health from that Power Gem. And I Dragon Claw them and Ampharos for a one-hit KO, which is a good start, it seems like, for me. I protect the Charizard and try to taunt that Cresselia before it tries to do anything else, but I unfortunately get spored by the Sableye, which is a very unfortunate thing because Sableye is kind of taunting and providing a lot of pressure here. Amoonguss tries to spore the Ferrothorn I switch into, so I figure he's going to spore that target, so Ferrothorn doesn't get spored because, you know, grass type. He brings in his Arcanine to at least intimidate the targets, and it's really good against the Ferrothorn. As Amoonguss protects, while I go for a Leech Seed on the Arcanine, at least letting me sap back a little bit of health and making that Arcanine weaker, while I finally wake up and taunt that Amoonguss, and Heat Wave is a crit, brings it right down to 60, but leftovers gets me back a little bit. I switch out the Ferrothorn because I'm afraid of the fires, and my Will-O-Wisp does miss on the Amoonguss. Heat Wave does a nice amount of damage to Mamoswine, but it's still on the field, and I'm still able to do something. Cresselia comes back out while Arcanine protects, and I recover my Sableye just to keep him on the field. I Earthquake the Sableye, killing my own Sableye, unfortunately, while I bring back out Charizard X trying to do some sort of damage. He brings in the Amoonguss while I Dragon Claw it, and luckily it doesn't have a Rocky Helmet, but the Trick Room is up again. So I'm going to protect the Charizard to try to stop the spores, while I miss Leech Seed with Ferrothorn. My second unfortunate miss of the battle, but RNG is a thing you're going to have to face on the battlefield pretty often. I'm going to Gyro Ball that Amoonguss, just trying to hopefully get some damage on it, while the Cresselia double Calm Mind, which is a very dangerous threat. And I Leech Seed the Cresselia, just trying to hopefully sap back the health in the best way I can, because that Cresselia is going to be there after a third Calm Mind. Flare Blitz takes down my Charizard, but we get rid of the Amoonguss on the field. However, there's a ×3 Calm-Minded Cresselia versus my Mamoswine and my Ferrothorn. Not exactly the best matchup you could ever be in. He protects his Arcanine while I try to go for Rock Slides, trying to do super effective damage at the very least. But I am now stuck in Rock Slides due to the Choice Band. And unfortunately for me, we do not get any flinches, and the Arcanine boosts his health right back up. So I'm just going to go for a Leech Seed, trying to sap away the health of the Cresselia and the Arcanine. Here I cross my fingers like, you know, come on, a flinch, no flinch, and the Heat Wave does a lot of damage to my Mamoswine. And the Psychic takes down the Ferrothorn, showing it's not good to keep a Cresselia on the field. But, you know, we win some, we lose some. Here's another one where he sends out Thunderous and a Gardevoir Force, and I'm the corner here versus my Mamoswine. And the Clefairy. Clefairy has Friend Guard, and it's kind of useful to stop some of the damage. He brings in a Landorus there, very fortunately for me, but I don't attack it just yet. I'm actually going for damage onto his Gardevoir, where I Iron Head it and bring it right down to 7 health, which is pretty nice. A Hyper Voice does a little more damage to my Clefairy than I wanted, while I bring in my Ferrothorn, and I believe I protect my Clefairy to keep it on the field a little bit longer with Friend Guard and such. He Earthquakes, and it does a very minimal amount of damage to Ferrothorn, surprisingly. Thunderbolts to Thunderous, bringing me down a little bit. Well, I'm going to actually double target that Landorus. Friend Guard's amazing. Ice Beam takes down to about, takes 41% of his health, and a Gyro Ball crit hit takes out the Landorus, letting us a KO right from the bat, and brings out his weakened Gardevoir. So I'm going to follow with Clefairy, while I realize that Gardevoir is not really a threat to Ferrothorn, so I'm going to set up some Leech Seeds so I can sap back my health and keep on going, doing well in these battles. I bring out the Mamoswine because he's actually a really good choice, while a Bisharp comes out. I protect my Ferrothorn and decide I should Ice Shard the Gardevoir just so it doesn't do any more damage. I take out that Gardevoir, and Thunderous comes back out. He taunts the Ferrothorn into normal Leech Seeds, but I get an Ice Shard off, which is what I wanted to do in that Thunderous anyways, and take it out. He tries to Sucker Punch, but my priority was faster. I can't use any Leech Seeds, so I'm going to bring out the Charizard for some fire at the very least. He knocks off my Ferrothorn, but I survive with 3 HP, just barely. so I start going for damaging moves on the Shard. We get the forfeit there, but we get to see the power that Ferrothorn has next to a Clefairy. And lastly, this is a fun one. Battle it all the way through. I'm in the top right corner again, against a Landers and a Gardevoir. I bring out Mamoswine Charizard lead. I thought this might be good against the many threats I saw against Fire on this team, especially Fairy. So this is actually a fortunate battle where they leave their Landers in, and I'm able to show off the Ice Shard, connecting, even though I've been intimidated, and knocking out the Landers team in one hit. But, unfortunately, I get Energy Ball and my Mamoswine goes down. He brings out Registeel while I bring out my Ferrothorn, who can be good against the Gardevoir. I decide it's best to just go for damage instead of Dragon Dances, so I Flare Blitz that Registeel and bring myself down to 8 HP while I get Toxic by the Registeel. A Gyro Ball, one-hit KO, takes out that Mega Gardevoir, but Toxic leaves me with 2 HP, fortunately for me, unfortunately for them. I'm just going to Flare Blitz that Registeel again, knocking myself out, but it's worth it to take out his third Pokemon. While I still have a Ferrothorn left on the field who's going to get Icy Wind, which lowers my speed, but I was already a lower threat. So I Power Whip that Clodsir and activate the Citrus Berry. I'm going to bring out my Suicune Ferrothorn. And I'm going to just Calm Mind in case something goes wrong and boost myself up. While it Icy Winds, misses my Ferrothorn, and I'm able to successfully get up a Power Whip and knock out its Clodsir. And those are just a few examples of the battles that we partook in with this new Dance of the Shards team. As always, if you enjoyed the battle, please make sure to subscribe, like the video as well, and if you've tried out the team, do make sure to let me know how it goes, and I'll see everyone next time.